This is the story of David and Goliath. At the Valley of Elah, the Philistines and the Israelites were at war. The Philistines had one really amazing soldier, Goliath, a 9-foot-tall giant equipped with heavy bronze armor and a javelin. Every day he would come out and mock the Israelites. He would yell at them to find someone to fight him, and the winner would take the loser's nation as their servants. He said this again and again for 40 days. One day during this time, Jesse told his youngest son David to bring some food to his brothers and the Israelite soldiers who were preparing to fight. Just as David arrived, the men were just about to go out. He left the food with them and went to meet up with his brothers. As he was talking with them, Goliath appeared again. David went around asking people about Goliath. Some men heard what he was saying and decided to take him to Saul. David then volunteered himself to fight Goliath, but Saul doubted he would do anything. David had to persuade him, and he assured Saul that God would help him in the battle. Saul agreed and gave him some armor and a sword, but David wasn't used to all of that stuff, so he took it off and went on his way. All he had with him was his walking stick, his sling, and 5 stones he got from a stream. David and Goliath approached each other. Goliath began insulting David, but he replied by basically saying that God is above the Philistines. He also threatened to cut off Goliath's head when he wins. Goliath then tried to attack him. David reached for a stone and pulled one out, and he placed it in his sling and started to prime his shot. After a few spins, the stone flew out of his sling and struck Goliath, the stone sinking into his forehead. Goliath fell down dead. David was going to cut off Goliath's head, but he didn't bring a sword. So he went ahead and took Goliath's sword and used that. When the Philistines saw this, they ran away in fear, and the Israelite soldiers were chasing them. David, winning the war for Israel, kept Goliath's armor and sword at home, but took his head to Jerusalem to show as a trophy. Nobody expected David to kill Goliath. Nobody expected anyone to kill Goliath, but David was different in a way. He didn't see Goliath as a giant with years of fighting experience. He looked at him and realized how he was just a human disobeying God. The perspective that David had on the entire situation helped him fight. David didn't need armor or a sword to win either. He went out with what he was familiar with using. His skill was in using a sling in self-defense, so that's what he used. When you're tasked with something, just use the talents that God already gave you. You don't need anything else unless God gave you something else. Only God will give you the most valuable of gifts, so make sure to use them because you'll probably need them. So the next time you're facing a Goliath, remember what God's given you. Remember what he will do for you, and he will fight right by your side. And also remember, God's side always wins.